In the heart of a forgotten forest stands an abbey lost to time, where shadows stretch longer than reason, and the night guards secrets no man dares name. Inside, a single monk labors beneath trembling candlelight. Each page he touches feels heavier than the last, as though the walls themselves are leaning closer to watch. His hand shakes, his breath quickens. Every stroke of the quill is a battle not against paper, but against something far older, far darker. Beyond the stone walls, the forest whispers. The wind carries voices almost human, mocking, warning, or pleading for the living to turn back while they still can. The ink resists him. It spreads and twists across the page, alive in ways ink should never be. It remembers sins. It remembers secrets buried by centuries of silence. The walls seem to breathe. Shadows stretch and coil unnaturally, reaching across the stone, as if drawn toward the words being written. Then a voice slips from the darkness, barely audible, yet unmistakable. "Stop before it is too late." He shivers. And yet, the quill moves on its own. A page is completed, but not all. The unfinished words thrum with a hidden energy, tightening the air, draining its warmth, pulling the night inward towards something unseen. Midnight tolls across the abbey, though no bell stands. The sound cuts through stone, fog, and flesh alike, a warning that arrives too late. The monk stares at the unfinished page. The ink trembles. The sentence waits. And then, silence. A silence heavier than sound itself. In that darkness, something remains awake, patient, relentless, unbroken. This is the Codex Gigas, better known by the name it earned centuries later, the Devil's Bible. Created in the early 13th century inside a remote Bohemian monastery, it is the largest medieval manuscript ever known to survive. Nearly 3 feet tall, over 20 inches wide, weighing more than a grown man. Legend claims it was written in a single night by a monk condemned to die, who promised his soul in exchange for its completion. Every page appears to be written by a single hand, over 600 pages of dense Latin text, rituals, incantations, medical formulas, and an exhaustive catalogue of sins. But one image eclipses them all, a full-page portrait of the devil himself. His blood-red eyes stare directly at the reader, daring them to look away. And then, without warning, the writing stops. A chapter abandoned mid-thought. What halted the scribe remains unanswered, and has haunted centuries ever since. The monastery that housed the Devil's Bible was far from holy in every sense. Hidden deep in the forest of Podlazhitz, it was a place where whispered legends of curses and disappearances were common. Local tales tell of monks vanishing during midnight prayers, their cells found empty, windows locked from the inside. Archaeological surveys reveal a labyrinth beneath the stone floors, a network of narrow passages carved into the earth itself. Skeletons have been found within, some curled in prayer, others twisted as if recoiling in terror. The Codex may have been a key to these subterranean horrors, a map of forbidden knowledge intended to summon or repel forces mankind was never meant to confront. One fragment mentions a ritual requiring the blood of a consecrated monk, an offering to accelerate the writing process. Whether symbolic or literal, the presence of such instructions hints at a mind teetering on the edge of reason and madness. Every visitor to the Devil's Bible speaks of the painted devil himself, not as ink on vellum, but as a presence. The moment the page is opened, the room feels occupied. Its gaze does not rest. It fixes, as though the image recognizes the act of being seen and responds by watching back. This is not decoration. It does not feel symbolic. It feels sentient. Monastic records tell of men who stared too long. Some became catatonic, frozen mid-prayer. Others collapsed into silence, unable to speak of what they saw. A few fled the monastery entirely. They abandoned vows, names, and lives, as if leaving the abbey was the only way to remain whole. Modern psychologists argue the effect was intentional, a masterful manipulation of fear and perception, an image designed to invade the mind and refuse to leave. And yet, legends persist, claims that the eyes move when no one is watching, that whispers leak from the page in absolute silence, not heard with the ears, but felt, like a thought planted where it does not belong. This illustration marks a fracture in the manuscript. Before it, the text is disciplined, devotional, controlled. After the devil appears, the writing unravels. Lines tighten, margins vanish. The scribe's hand loses restraint. The writing no longer reads like prayer. It screams across the page as if the ink itself has become alive. The codex no longer feels authored. It feels channeled, a conduit between a mortal hand and something infernal that has already answered. Despite its immense size, the codex remains unfinished. Sentences end abruptly. Paragraphs dissolve into blotches of ink, as if the book itself refuses to be completed. Some believe the scribe died before the work was done. Others whisper something far darker, that the devil himself stopped the writing, leaving a trap for anyone who dares to finish it. The unfinished state is not merely a scholarly problem. Historical records claim that those who tried to copy its text suffered immediate misfortune. One 17th century scholar attempted a transcription. His house burned that very night. Another grew violently ill, muttering lines from the manuscript as his mind unraveled. He vanished soon after, leaving no body, no explanation, only the words he could not stop repeating. The codex does not behave like a book. It exists as both historical artifact and psychological enigma, a relic from a world where knowledge was never safe and understanding always came at a cost. The codex does not shy away from detail. Within its pages lie rituals that blur the line between medicine, exorcism, and sorcery. Remedies for the plague sit beside charms meant to ward off demons. Instructions for penance exist alongside commands to summon spirits. One passage describes a ceremony performed at the stroke of midnight. Incense, salt, forbidden prayers spoken aloud when no witnesses remain. Archaeologists believe some of these rites echo ancient Slavic pagan practices, pagan fear reshaped to fit Christian form, ancient beliefs wrapped in holy language. A fusion born from terror, superstition, and human desperation. This collision of faith and obsession is what gives the manuscript its power. It records a world confronting forces it could neither understand nor control, and facing them with equal parts reverence and fear. Over centuries, the codex has been moved, hidden, and guarded under extreme precautions. Today, it rests inside the National Library of Sweden, sealed behind glass in a controlled sanctuary. Yet even there, scholars report nausea, dizziness, and a persistent sensation of being watched while studying it. Fragments missing from early copies have been traced to mysterious thefts from private collections. Pages surface, disappear, and reappear in unexpected places, always carrying an atmosphere of unease. The Codex is not merely a book, but a living historical puzzle, a relic that resists the safety of understanding. Imagine standing alone in a vast library, the Codex Gigas resting before you. Its weight is physical, but the pressure it exerts is something deeper, mental, almost spiritual. You reach the page depicting the devil. The eyes stare back, unblinking, into your soul. You feel centuries of obsession, fear, and darkness trapped inside every line of ink. Then you notice it, the unfinished page, a ritual left incomplete, not abandoned, but interrupted, or deliberately left undone. You sense the danger is not past, that someone or something left this as a warning. or a trap. No one knows what would happen if the final line were ever completed. Perhaps this story must remain unfinished, a reminder that knowledge can burn and some truths demand restraint. The library dissolves into shadow, and a whisper passes close to your ear. Do not finish it. The Devil's Bible remains one of history's darkest enigmas, a record of obsession, sin, and human curiosity. Its story is not over. Perhaps it never will be. If you enjoy digging into hidden myths, dark archives, and lost history, subscribe to Mystery Vault for more mysteries every week.